that I expect to be 100% in the conversation this evening and might give Zach Billet a run for his money. We've just got to wait and see. Let's take a look at our schedule for this
What's up, guys? We've got the
first season
Noble Can-Am Series.
Of course, we opened
try
up
something
back
new here. I'm
going to
try to have the broadcast up here.
At Miami, Homestead Miami Speedway.
See if I can get it to
Then we went to Lime Rock Park on June 18th.
decent.
Had a couple of weeks off. Now we have a couple of weeks back at it before an off week between
Makes
the
it kind of a cluster on the screen, but hey, it might be something cool to watch.
Motorsport checks
See if the
in for
internet
round number
cooperates
6 on
tonight.
August 13th. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll be here for Atlanta. Road Atlanta on August 27th, but then we have some off weeks in between Road Atlanta, Sonoma, and Long Beach. And I do believe we've worked things out for Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, where the only round
I figured I could
this
just miss the start on
the
purpose.
broadcast will be round number 7 at Road Atlanta.
Protestable, so don't fuck it up.
Great.
Hello, Brendan
Super.
Kennedy out in the YouTube chat. Good to see you this evening, as always.
If he jumps the gun, yeah.
And had to get myself a quick drink of some
Just follow iRacing
I'll
commands
go
over
into
it.
that in a second, but let's take a look at our
Ooh, that sounds way
starting
better,
grid
though.
this evening, as we have got 16 cars in total at the virtual Montreal. On pole, although he'll be dropping to the rear, it is Zach Millett in car 315. Johnny Rapp will grid up from second and take over.
A hell of a lap there in qualifying. That was one of the better laps
Jacob
I've had.
Elliott was your third
Even at some of
fastest
the practices.
qualifier, and it's interesting. It looks like these guys
Lars likes to blow tires.
will be separated by class on the grid, but are not separated by class here on our starting grid graphic.
Oh, that's rough.
So work with us here, but Jacob Elliott will be starting from the...
So I have to miss the start on purpose here.
Do you know I have to
Just gonna suck.
try and work pieces out? So Jacob
All right, let's
Elliott
see what
will
we
be
can do.
starting from, I'm sorry, the 7th position. I believe we have six Super Late models, so Elliott will be starting from 7th technically, although he'll be sent to the rear as well. Kevin McCann will then be starting from the 8th spot. Then, of course, Steve Singer, Brian McCann, and Mark Thomas,
I'll just
your next
shut the
late
car off here
model
while I
stock
wait.
qualifiers. Jason Duckworth, the super late model, will still be starting with the supers, as he will actually take over, technically, the provisional pole position. As Zach
Part of me
Miller will
almost
have to
thought I
start
was
from the pit lane.
be going a
Troy
lap down, but
Radford,
obviously pace
Leonardo
lap doesn't
Elijah
count.
back here for late model stock. Spencer Torrance, of course.
I haven't tried this before,
along
and there's
with
no like
Sean
way to
Roberts
penalize
and
somebody
Joe
like this.
Tucker
I don't think
will
so.
join the super late model grid.
I was told just to kind of miss the
And
start
Mark
on
Truxell,
purpose.
Eric Beadle, and Eddie Rose round out our grid this evening. I know it was a little bit disjointed, but bear with me. I guarantee it'll make more sense as we get racing this evening at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. 30 laps the distance for us, and into the restart zone already for Johnny Rapp and Jason Duckworth, waiting
it gives me a
on
15-second
the
wait.
green
That's about
flag
right.
for round 3 on the season. It's a long front stretch from the Wall of Champions, but green flag is in the air in Canada. Late model stocks now racing to the start finish line. Green flag for late model stocks. Steve Singer alongside Brian McCann. Kevin McCann, rather. And Kevin McCann deep into turn 1. He takes over the top spot. Johnny Rapp side by side with Duckworth. He'll take over the top position in super late models.
Jesus.
One car on the wall, Mark Thomas in car 50 in the outside wall heading into turn 3. They get it sorted out, and already Jacob Elliott up to the 8th position in class after a start from the rear of the field for winning at Lime Rock Park. Johnny Rapp, Jason Duckworth, Spencer Torrance into turns 8 and 9. It's been a long day, I gotta tell you what. But Spencer Torrance on the back end here, Jason Duckworth, lap number 1. Let's go on board with car number 10 as he fires down to the hairpin, turn 10, in deep on the inside, trying to make this pass stick, and it will. Big move there from driver number 10 in his first start in the series. I told you he would be one to watch as Zach Millett works here on Leonardo Elijah through turn 10 at the hairpin. And already the driver who started from the pit lane is working up to Jacob Elliott, who of course started from the rear of this field. And this is going to get hairy quickly. Nowhere for Millet to go. He's going to try 3. Nope. Gets back into the inside. And that is deep in World Champions. Whoa, Jake Elliott moves over in the braking zone on Truxell. That was scary big time. Lap 1 complete here at Montreal without incident as we have a lead change. Spencer Torrens in turns 1 and 2 goes right on by Johnny Rapp for the lead. And that's a pass we have to go back and check out. For Spencer Torrens in car number 10, take a look at this. Brand new to the series, first start here this evening. Watch Torrens in the white and brown 10 on the inside, sets himself up perfectly for turn 1, and that just allows Johnny Rapp to overshoot the corner and then lock up in turn 2, and easily, just like that, Spencer Torrens.
Sorry guys, I had a cut that just would not go away there.
In late model stock cars, Kevin McCann has taken over the race lead from Steve Singer. Brian McCann follows him up in 3rd spot. Troy Radford joins us from 4th position in the 94 car. Let's not forget Mark Thomas, Jacob Elliott, Mark Truxell, that bunch. And that, of course, where we find Zach Millet, who's driving back through the field. And right on by Mark Truxell, Millet will go. So he is 6th in class, now chasing the 6th place late model stock car. As Millet currently runs in the 12th position overall, and a bit of trouble there for Jacob Elliott.
That chicane cut really killed us there.
Turn 10, spun the tires, and I think Millet's going to have a good shot at him by the time they get to World Champions. Yes, sure enough, there goes the 315 right on by. The superior motor in this super late model definitely makes a difference. And purple time there from Spencer Torrens, taking over the race lead and setting the fastest lap of the race. That could be outdone, though, here by Zach Millet to the line. Car 315, does he go any faster as there's a slow Troy Radford? I can't imagine what that's all about. Odd place for the 94 car to be so slow, but we'll take a look here as to what might have happened for the 94. Maybe some corner cut, hard to say.
Clean race.
But Troy then pulls over here on the front stretch and lets a lot of time go. There goes Mark Thomas. Here comes Zach Millet. And Radford now wide has allowed Jacob Elliott to go by as well.
What's going on? It's like my tires are super hot for some reason. I didn't think I got them that hot, but maybe.
We already have some interesting traffic between. Actually, struggling. I guess it's Joe Tucker on the nose. His problems for Johnny Rapp rise in turn 10. Big issues with the 52 car. He goes from 2nd to 4th in a hurry in class, and that drops him from 2nd to 8th overall. Now trying to get back by Brian McCann. He'll do that. And he's going to have a run on Steve Singer for the Wall of Champions, but will stay in behind. A lot just occurred. We keep having these moments where a lot is going on. And we'll take a look here for Johnny Rapp.
Well, that was weird. I didn't think I was even close to that.
Into turn 10.
Shit in the bed so far.
73 of Duckworth, and Rapp just gets in deep to turn 10. Nearly loses the rear, gets hit a bit by the 73. Roberts goes by the 13 of Joe Tucker. Ran himself clean into the outside wall all by his lonesome.
Terry, what's up?
That is a big issue for the 13 car. Who
yeah,
on
man.
the nose, by the way.
Can't get in the groove. I was really comfortable in practice and qualifying, but for some reason, I don't know.
The fact that our late model stock cars were running down one of the super late models really caught me by surprise as Tucker hangs it out there out of turns 3 and 4.
Might just be trying to do too much with, 2 laps in, 3 laps in.
Steve Singer a little bit sideways there out of turn 7. And already you can see Kevin McCann starting to put some pressure again on the super late models, reeling in Jason Duckworth.
Yeah, look at these back tires, man.
Meanwhile, our race leader is checked out by 6 seconds nearly. Spencer Torrens doing a beautiful job with BrezCoffeeCo.com. Dodge Charger. You can see there in the background is finally Sean Roberts out of the hairpin at turn 10. And a pass maybe as Zach Millett will finally improve his position.
Yeah, right.
in
That's
class.
actually
And
a
gets
really
by
good
Joe
idea.
Tucker in the 13 car. Brings Mark
Nice and
Thomas along
comfortable.
with him, but
Nice and
not
easy.
for long. Thomas beating a straight line easily by that 13 car. We'll have to let that one happen. Zach Millett now through to 5th place. He is chasing down Johnny Rapp. There's a 3-second gap currently as Rapp follows up Kevin McCann, Steve Singer, and Brian McCann. Now, from a little bit off today, I do apologize. I've just spent 3 days in the sun in 116-degree heat indexes, and Johnny Rapp goes for a spin in turn 1. That is not how you get it done there. But 3 days in the sun in North Carolina, broadcasting from about 8 in the morning to 7 at night at UNC Charlotte for IFAF flag football and the one flag football tournaments. It's been a lot of fun. It's just taking a lot out of me as, of course, I had to get back in time for this show. Could not miss this, of all things. On board with Brian McCann, 3rd place in late model stock car, 6th place overall. By the way, Johnny Rapp is now last in super late models after starting 1st, effectively.
Man, it's so hard not to just roast these babies off. It's like we were the fastest on track that last time around, but we gotta do that quite a few more times.
Still on board with Brian McCann. Check out the speeds these cars turn into this final set of corners. 141, 145, 6, 7, 138 into turn 13. Turns 12 and 13 rather, and the curving can get a little bit scary.
There we go. Purple, baby.
Spencer Torrance has now cleared Sean Roberts by 7.5 seconds as Zach Millett goes fast as, of course, a pit stop looms for each of these drivers. Maybe even 2 for the super late models, as there's Sean Roberts through turns 3 and 4, Jason Duckworth as well, then Kevin McCann, Steve Singer, Brian McCann, and finally Zach Millett is working his way through this field diligently. Up to the 7th position overall. Here's the onboard in the driver's eye perspective. Mounted within the helmet of Zach Millett. He is up to the 7th position. And this puts him 14 seconds behind Spencer Torrance, the race leader. Problem, Sean Roberts around right in front of Zach Millett and others. That is out of turns 8 and 9. And that gives Millett another spot in class. This is the one thing these drivers can't do in the supers, is make mistakes. That just gives the free spots.
I wanted to get out of Brian's way there. I feel awful. That's why I kind of swung wide there.
Handicap over him. Go ahead and take it. You can't be doing things like this. And I know it's a tough car, so whoa, that's also a really bad rejoin. That is on the apex of the corner. That is a severe no-no. Thankfully, there was no contact there.
Oh man, I love it. Freaking love it.
What was happening and get by it. But,
It's stressful.
oh,
Absolutely
pit
stressful,
stop.
that's for
Steve
sure.
Singer into the pit lane very early.
Guys are
Lap
pitting
7
early.
must be counting on an extra bit of fuel burn this evening, unless he's pitting for incidents. But yeah, that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. So Steve Singer into his box very early. It'll be gas and go for car 6. Joe Tucker is going to join him as well. This one I can believe would be for incidents, but I'd imagine this will be short enough for a pit stop. Singer 9.32 seconds in the box. A very interesting move for the 6 car. And that's going to bring him all the way down to 6th in class, 11th overall, as Jason Duckworth is finally passed up by Kevin McCann in the late model stock. But that's not done just yet as Zach Millett approaches. And Millet hard in the braking zone for turns 8 and 9.
Thanks, man.
Duckworth actually sits back to race him a little bit. And sure enough,
I
there
didn't think we were
goes
gonna
Millet
stop
right
there.
on by the 73 car of Duckworth in the short straightaway. Up to turn number 10. And
Yeah, radical, man, radical.
Millet now is within 14
That season was
seconds,
probably the most
just
fun
barely within 14
out of anything I've done.
of Spencer Torrance.
This will be tight.
And right on by Kevin McCann. So Zach Millet is now second overall, and we are simply tracking his progress now from this point forward to our race leader, Spencer Torrance. And you know what? These supers are getting
Every time you
real
pass
finicky
anybody in these
through
cars, you feel like
corners.
such a dick because you
Late
just
model
can't get
stocks
off the
are
corners with those
faster
late
in
model
center,
stocks. Shit.
but the supers have all the power on corner exit. It's like prototypes with less downforce. What a weird dynamic. I love this though. Sean Roberts, Brian McCann, they were close for a moment. Roberts now losing time to Brian McCann. Jacob Elliott there in the 7th spot overall.
Like this
Mark
spot right
Thomas
here. This
in
spot
8th.
is awful.
Johnny Rappin,
Stay
9th.
low for him.
Trey Radford will join us in the 10th position currently, ahead of Steve Singer by about 6.5 seconds. Then you'll find Mark Truxell in the 12th position. And Joe Tucker, by the way, who just pitted as well, is down in the 16th and final position overall at the current point in time.
Because they're in their own race too. I hate to hold them up.
He did, however, have a 1 minute and 6 second pit stop. Spencer Torrance, another lap complete as he heads out of turn 10.
All right, now let's see if we can. What do we got?
It is a
So we're through the field pretty much.
13.5 second gap.
See if we can
back to
close
Zach
anything up
Millet.
on Spencer now. He's got a hell of a head
14
start
now as
on
they
him.
head into turn 10. And let's just watch
Yeah,
this
we
gap
could.
and see how it changes over the next few corners. Next bit of racing for Zach Millet. Of course, started from the pit lane, that put him behind the mark by quite a bit.
Chase the
Spencer
rabbit,
Torrance
that's
has
right.
been
Hell yeah.
quite speedy this evening. The last lap time for Torrance was faster than Millet's last lap time.
It's the best when you can see him. To get close enough to see him. 14.5 seconds, man. That's a
And I say
that's
that,
a gap.
and Zach Millet pulls a half second. Zach Millet's last lap, a 1:42.527. Spencer Torrance's last lap, a 1:43.021. Question is that enough to make up the difference? If Spencer's able to hold that to a half second each lap, it would take Zach Millet 26 more laps to catch up. And if somehow Spencer's able to hold it to just that kind of margin each and every lap, I think he actually will hang on to the race lead. It's going to be very close, though, especially as Zach Millet's advantage, I think, grows as this race goes on and these tires wear out.
Turn, old
We're
girl.
going to learn a whole lot about these drivers very, very soon, these two in particular.
Exactly, yeah, that's true. I can't think of it like I'm chasing the guy. He's got to race smart. I'm in second, so if I can stay here, that's a good day.
On our race leader, Spencer Torrance, we're going to go Pit Stop TV side by side this evening from Montreal. There are some great battles actually happening in the background that we'll take a look at first as Jason Duckworth passes Brian McCann, and here goes Sean Roberts on by Mark Thomas. And now we'll go Pit Stop TV side by side for the first time this evening, and we'll be back in just a few.
So Terry, this is my favorite. Nice clear track. Don't see a thing. This is the best. Ooh. Nice. Got to show you the picture of the LMP3 hood we got from the Glen if you didn't already see it. Talk about the biggest score from a track ever. My head's telling me maybe tire strategy, maybe not take tires, but I just don't see it. I gotta take 4. There's no way around it. Exactly, yeah. Gonna have to break that brake point up about a mile. Seven. Only a 10th faster that time. Yes, it is.
Welcome back to the
So Terry, I think I
virtual
killed
Montreal,
a lot of my tires coming up through the field,
Circuit
trying to get to the
a
gas quick and
legendary
shit.
circuit that is
You think I should just kind of
borderline road course and street course all in one?
hit
Of course,
halfway
it's
here, like right at
entertained
15?
NASCAR, Formula One, and so many other great series. And it's
Or should I go a little bit further, maybe up to 20?
We rejoin you on lap 12 of 30 after a brief side-by-side
I'm also thinking
break,
like
only a
the
couple of
longer I
laps
wait,
past.
the
And I wanna
longer or the
remind
further I'm going to get away
everybody
from the guys
where we
behind me. I don't want to come back
Both
out
our
in
opponents
traffic.
coming into this evening. Zach Millett, the points leader. That is not much of a surprise to those who know this series, but he's doing it by
Better
108
fuel, yeah.
points already over Sean Roberts and Jason Duckworth.
See what he does too.
Add in a new player by the way to this super late model field, Spencer Torrance, who is on a ripper of a race. He might not be able to keep the lap time that he needs over Zach Millett, but I tell you
Oh
what,
Jesus, Terry, I'm
he's doing a
shot. I thought
fantastic job of trying to
he
move
ran
up now
a
second
10th
to
faster, or
lap.
10th
Looks
slower
like,
than us last time. That was a
number
second and a
315,
10th.
But he is going to put up one heck of a fight over Zach Millett for
Oh,
the
okay.
race win
Well,
this
shit, that
season.
changes shit.
Meanwhile, late
I feel a
model
lot
stock
better
car
about our pace
racing,
now. We had a
Mark
42.6
Thomas
to his
taking over the race lead
44.7.
briefly, but Steve Singer currently
Oh, that changes
sits
everything.
in the race lead as
Look
they
at-
run
I'm smiling now.
after pit stops. Mark
Right?
Thomas simply has not yet
Shit.
pitted.
I thought we were only a 10 faster. I was
That's
just
your
thinking
point
we had to like,
standings.
you
Let's
know,
get
make
back
something
down
happen. But
trackside and take a look
all right,
at
we'll just stay in this
where we
pace.
have
Bring it.
Spencer Torrance leading this race in the Brez Coffee
Hitting in a
Company
couple.
number 10.
Oh, okay. Well, just kidding, Terry. I
He
guess
is
we're
coming
almost
through
out of gas.
turn 6 and 7. Now he is yet to pit as we near lap 15. And we've seen, for the most part, 2 pit stops for the Supers each and every race so far. But the late model stock cars have been holding to 1 pit stop more often than not. That seems to be the opposite this evening, as the Supers are looks like going for 2 total runs, and the late model stocks are going for 3, which would of course be 2 pit stops.
We gonna make this?
Zach
Jesus.
Millett still on the racetrack.
Might have to do a
There's
splash
Spencer
and go or
Torrance,
something.
Jason Duckworth in the 3rd spot. Sean Roberts in 4th, Johnny Rapp in 5th. Overall and now in class as none of those drivers. No Super Late Model driver has yet to pit aside from Joe Tucker.
I don't think so. It's only telling me I can do one more lap.
Steve Singer now takes over the race lead in late model stock racing, going by Mark Thomas, who pitted this last time through. And when you look at pit times, Singer at a 9.32.
Totally different from what
pit stop of
the practice was leading up to be.
Checks in at 11.85, gave up the race lead this way. Jacob Elliott at a 10.88. And Brian McCann at a 10.6. These two have been racing tooth and nail since they left the pit lane, and you can see it has taken an effect. Taken a lot of an effect.
Shit, I bet that last time. Shit.
Jake Elliott.
Right, I'm just gonna have to come in.
That's recent damage as well. We were taking a look at the 07 a lot through that side-by-side break, and we just found the reason. Actually, let's back up one more time and show off why this happened. And we'll do so from the onboard. Elliott had already passed McCann, but take a look at this. This is into turns 3 and 4, sun brightly in his eyes, and Elliott through turn 3 looks pretty good. Through turn 4, carries too much speed, pow, right in the wall. And about knocked the right side off of that car. Got it again there in turn 5. And that is why Elliott now has got all of this right side damage.
I hope it says leader pitting this time. If not, then he did something that we should probably have done.
Jacob Elliott suddenly has all of that right side damage. Spencer Torrance, meanwhile, is down to an 8-second lead over Zach Millett and closing as they're both in the same piece of racetrack. And there goes the 88 car of Eddie Rose to the outside lane to give way. Eric Beadle, by the way, also now 1 lap down. No retirements yet from this race, and I just want to commend all these drivers. I know this is a tough combo. This is a very tough race car to get around road courses, especially in the late model stock. Especially in the super late model. But a quick mention to all of you drivers this evening that are staying in these cars.
Should we just try to save a lap? What do you think?
It is super, super appreciated by us here at Pit Stop TV to have drivers.
I'm going to fill it just to see.
Elijah out of the pit lane this time. And we have got more takers behind him. Eddie Rose in the pits.
Damn, man.
Zach Millett as well, right at the halfway mark. And this could be a little bit dangerous for Millett. It depends on how good he feels on fuel. I think you would want to go one more lap. This is after lap 14, coming on to 15, that he has chosen to pit. And this just feels slightly too early, at least to me. He's not alone, though. Jason Duckworth comes into the pit lane just behind him. And of course, he saw the 2 late model stock cars that pitted. Johnny Rapp now comes into the pit lane from the Mission Barbecue, number 52 Dodge Challenger. So the only 2 cars that have not pitted at all this evening are Spencer Torrance and Sean Roberts, both of which lead this race. And if Torrance is able to make this a one-stop race, but Millett isn't, right there, I think you have your strategy winner. Oh, can't be doing that, though. Torrance can't get ahead of himself. That is lighting up the rears big time out of turn 10. Might that be why we're seeing these drivers pit a little bit early? I don't know. But Millett did take a 4-tire stop. So another bit of interesting information. I think if you're Spencer Torrance, you have to go no tires. Whether or not you take 2 stops or 1 stop, you have to go no tires now. And he'll come into the pit lane this lap at the exact halfway mark. 15 laps complete, 15 to go.
Oh, he sped in the pits. He sped in the pits.
And this feels like the right time to pit.
Oh, man. That's huge.
In the pit box for Spencer Torrance. Let's see what he opts to do. It's going to be a 4-tire stop. I'm surprised. I know he's going for grip here, but you could have taken at least 10 or 11 seconds off that pit stop by simply not taking tires.
You still got to make it.
Extra
you still got to make it.
Over Zach Millett. Sure, he's going to be closing in a second a lap. I don't know. You already have 8 seconds. I would have tried the no-tire strategy, but Spencer Torrance now taking a long time to leave. He has been in the pit lane for a while, and Zach Millett has gone right on by. Tragedy for the 10 car. What is going on here? He's still in the pit lane. Is he serving a penalty maybe? This is absolutely huge. And finally, Spencer Torrence is going to roll from the pit lane. A total pit lane time of 1 minute and 1 second. A potential race win out the window for the 10 car. This is absolutely massive. Wow. Steve Singer now takes over the race lead outright. Zach Millett, though, in the distance, is closing in quickly. Sure enough, Zach Millett's going to be getting more penalties next week. And oh, Steve Singer wheel hops there to turn 10, opens the door for Kevin McCann. This is going to be interesting as they work onto the casino straight, and Zach Millett closes in. Your top 3 on the racetrack, top 4 make that, all in the same picture. Singer, McCann, Millett, your top 3. As they head into the Wall of Champions, half the race down, half the race to go this time by. It'll be 14 laps remaining at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, and somewhere Zach Millett has got to find room to get by these 2 cars. But where is he going to find it? Granted, he does have
I just want to
some 12 seconds back to second
short
place
shift
in the
and
Supers. I think he
I mean,
if he wanted to. It's a matter of the overall victory at this point. And here comes Kevin McCann alongside the 6 car. Is he going to send it into turn 3? Absolutely, I would have too. Big pass there for the 33 car, but Steve Singer's not done yet. Back to the left side of the 33. He looks, gets squeezed over. That's through turn 5, now turn 6. The 33 defensive comes back over, and there's nothing that Steve Singer can do but watch Kevin McCann drive away now out of turn 70. It's a bit loose there on quarter exit, but here comes Zach Millett. And that's going to make things even that much more difficult, as Millett is going to have a run in that much more highly powered super late model. Doesn't go for it yet, probably will into turn 10 or out of turn 11. A huge, huge issue for Spencer Torrence has flipped this race completely around. Suddenly, late model stocks are leading the way once again, but for how long? And Zach Millett is tiptoeing right now in his super late model on brand new Hoosier tires. And here comes Millett. He's going to have a run on Singer. Singer gets out of the way. Millett now on McCann is going to make that pass quickly, and Zach Millett back to overall race lead. I say back to overall race lead. He is now the overall race leader.
Try to get away from him here a little bit.
Tonight, Zach Millett out front at Montreal with just 13 laps remaining. We do have a battle forming behind as Mark Thomas is going to go right on by Sean Roberts, and Mark Thomas is now pitting. He just pitted 4 laps ago, so clearly did so when he was a little bit short on fuel and is coming in now just for a splash, but to keep rear weight on the car over the rear axle. And just to get this pit stop out of the way. So an early stop here for Mark Thomas in the 50. Thomas also now taking a faster pair as Spencer Torrence goes fastest on the racetrack. That's not going to help him now, I'm afraid. Waiting on Thomas to release. He's taking a 4-tire stop. I'm surprised by that. I would have taken a splash and dash. Well, back up to Jacob Elliott. He runs in the 3rd spot in class, chasing down Steve Singer. And Singer suddenly is looking a lot more weak in this race, falling back more and more from Kevin McCann. He is still in a second of the 33 car, but Steve is just having problems here and there. We saw him get loose and open the door in the first place. Wheel hop opened the door for Kevin McCann and led to the pass. That said, it's not over as Mark Truxell is into the pit lane. And I don't think we have seen many more than 1 or 2 mistakes out of this entire field this evening, by the way. Props to this entire Noble Can-Am racing field once again. Because I don't think I've seen a single car in any barriers. Jacob Elliott into the pits. Brian McCann comes with him. Elliott has not used a fast repair yet. I wonder if he'll do so here. There's much damage on the right side of the car. Of course, he probably doesn't know, but he does take it anyways. And it looks like McCann does the same. Actually, well, it might update on pit exit, but it's not listing either driver as having taken it as Leonardo Elijah comes in. And sure enough, fast repair taken for Jacob
Steve's
Elliott.
pit. I'm just going to ride behind Brian, or Kevin here.
From Brian McCann as he exits right next to Spencer Torrence.
Big picture here, big
Torrence, of course,
picture.
has power up to turn 3 and will go right on by the 3 car.
Hell yeah, Kevin, that was sick.
Taking over the 6th position overall.
That was nasty.
Zach Millett just had a bit of a moment, has lost the race lead to Kevin McCann. What happened here? Take a look here for the 315 car to have a mistake, a rare mistake. Just as I praise the entire field, it is our alien race leader who makes a slip up in the number 315 super late model. Wide there at turn 7, gets loose and just has to get out of the power and give up that time to Kevin McCann. Not even anything bad, hard to even consider it a mistake, but it sure enough was. And we saw Millett take tires at that pit stop. I'm surprised he's having this many struggles as Steve Singer is into the pit lane. Clearly, most of the field counting on a 2-stop. There goes Eric Beadle on the 119. Joe Tucker is in as well. And
Says we're good right now. I
surprising.
just don't want to risk it. You know how it always registers a little low.
Steve Singer in car number 6, waiting to be released. It is going to be a longer gas and go, but a gas and go nonetheless. Just 12.85 seconds in the box for the number 6 car. No tires taken. I like that move. It brings him out right behind Brian McCann. This could be the race that we see Steve Singer finally show up. Been a long couple of weeks for him to get this season started.
You know what's sad is I want to pit, take 4, and go for the fastest lap.
See, it's only a couple of tenths
That would
of
be
a
pretty
second,
dumb,
which I'm surprised by. It looks like Elliott
I want the
is
win more
further
than that.
ahead
And yeah, I know,
this,
well, you know, it's the road
10
course
car,
guy,
but very,
you know.
very close.
I'm glad you admitted it, at least, right?
We do now have just 10 laps to go here in Montreal. Zach Millett just behind Kevin McCann. And McCann is turning very similar lap times to Millett at this point. I don't see much advantage to the 315 sublane. Maybe it's just that he's saving his stuff, throttling back because he knows that he doesn't need to push anything right now. He's got 13 seconds back to Sean Roberts. This is just the smart Zach Millett trying to come out and run a smart race to the end here, it looks like. Meanwhile, Jacob Elliott pushes on the back end of Spencer Torrence, trying to get back to that 10 car. Torrence, though, on by for good, it looks like, as he tries to come back through the field. He is 20 seconds behind Zach Millett, but I don't think he's going to make that time up in just 10 laps. And problems? No. Pit stop here for Johnny Rapp, as Jacob Elliott goes alongside Spencer Torrence and makes the 10 car's life a little bit more difficult. And this is an interesting thing. Late model stocks, of course, they're trying to race.
0.5 to the good.
But do you use the mid-corner speed to be a nuisance to a super late model just because? I don't understand this. 2 cars that are in separate classes that just don't need to be fighting. Torrence is much faster than Jacob Elliott, not only on the straightaways, and Elliott really just pushed to get back by thanks to his mid-corner speed. That's part of it, and the Super is faster in a lap just because of this stretch of racetrack here. But that's not to say that Spencer Torrence isn't faster on the lap as a whole. And I think the 10 car is going to be a little less forgiving, going on by that time through. I really question what we just saw, to be honest, between the 07 and 10 cars. That was questionable is a nice way to put it, in my opinion. I don't understand interclass battling like this. Not only are these different cars with different strengths, they're in different battles, and they score points differently. The Super, of course, only scores points versus Super late models. The late model stocks only score points versus the late model stocks. I don't understand
what he was talking about.
Because that move now from Jake Elliott a half a lap ago has only slowed them down further and brought Brian McCann closer.
Really know who he's talking about.
The 07. And now because they're
There's
both
like two different
racing,
cars
they're both
or whatever.
heated. Yeah, this is interesting. I know that probably sounds opinionated. Again, I understand the late model stock has got mid-corner speed. I understand why Jake wants to go by.
Third gear is not like in life.
But if you simply allow the Super to have about 2 seconds to drive a normal lap and get away, that Super late model will be gone. And if anything, you can close back in by the time you get to turn 10 and then use the draft on the backstretch and use that to pull back away from Brian McCann. Hopefully I don't upset too many people with that, but that's just the way I see this. I've seen a lot of different kinds of racing. That said, I don't know everything, certainly, but this just seems a little bit counterintuitive to me. All of this said, Zach Millett has now lost 4 seconds to Kevin McCann, and I can't tell if it's intentional or happenstance for the 315 car as he has dropped well back of the 33, but it looks like Kevin McCann might be winning overall this evening in Montreal. And see, there you go. All it took was that extra lap. All it took was for the 10 car to exit turn 10 ahead of the 07. And it's no longer a problem for Jacob Elliott. That was all it took. Now, when two classes are fighting for the same points on the racetrack as we see in the North American Racing League, I understand it, because that, while yes, they're classified differently in their own standings, there are class formats where Jacob Elliott would have been racing the 10 car there for a point, and I understand that entirely in that case. That is completely different, but when you're racing for separate points, I really don't understand it. And now I will say Spencer Torrence just lost a lot of time in those twisty bits. Elliott closes back in a little bit, but let's see how this kind of evolves. This is now turns 8 and 9. Elliott's closed back in. Torrence is going to pull back away. And it's a product of these cars being a little bit different, but still very, very close. They're slightly differently built chassis, but they follow the same formula of 2-frame chassis, big motor, 4 gears, go rip. And I mean, again, I will say, Jacob Elliott is doing a fantastic job. He is turning great lap times, doing a great job behind the wheel of this late model stock car as Kevin McCann comes into the pit lane. And I don't want to just make it sound like I'm just dragging on Jake, but I think there just needs to be a different prioritization there. And thankfully, I'll leave it with this passing thought that thankfully it hasn't caused a crash. Everybody, I think, is going to get away okay, and that'll probably be the end of that. Before we close this out, on a better note, I do want to go through the field and look at some of these race cars. There are some grand paint schemes in this field that we don't get to talk all about. One of them being Eddie Rose, who is just running a clean race on his own back here, has been well out of the way of the leaders when they've lapped him. So props here to Eddie in the 88 car. He is last. You can't skip over that part of his race, but he is currently on the lead lap.
But Kevin just pit too, so I guess that puts us like in the...
props to Eddie keeping the car on the racetrack and looking beautiful, by the way, in that 88 car. Then a little ways up the road, you've got Joe Tucker. We've seen a bit of that Smith & Wesson 13 car. Good to see him still on the racetrack, still moving along. But you can tell he is struggling with that car this evening. A lot of these drivers have. That is something to be said for the Super in general. The Super
I keep picking this 5 gears. Why do I keep going for fifth.
Here you have a look at Eric Beadle in the 119 car, recently back onto the racetrack and recently passed as well. A little further up the road, how about Mark Truxell in the 5 car? Mark Truxell allows the 10 of Spencer Torrence to go by, and I think there are some cars one lap down. Unfortunately, timing and scoring is not picking them up on my screen correctly.
Yeah, right.
There are some cars let down, including Eddie Rose. However, there's a look at Leonardo Elijah in the 43 car. Always
says we're good to go now.
Has one this evening. Troy Radford, same deal. I like the orange trim and the orange roll bars.
I don't have the tires
Johnny
to get under
Rapp, I
41,
really love this
think.
wrap, if you will, particularly the Dodge Challenger decals. I do also like that green number, the green trim down on the bottom of the nose there as he kind of blows turn 10 a little bit, but that's okay.
Right.
I think we've
That's
seen
true
most
too,
of the
yeah,
field
it goes,
here.
yeah.
Mark Thomas in the nice chrome and colorful 50. Of course, Jason Duckworth with his black and white flames and the butt kicker on the side of his car. Steve Singer, maybe the greatest paint scheme
And I mean,
in the
that's-
league history, but
that's tight.
we'll leave that one to be decided as he works to pass the number 119. And Kevin McCann, Sean Roberts are fighting. This is more inter-class fighting, but I think that was a little bit more straightforward. As Kevin McCann loses that spot. Now Sean Roberts blows 8 and 9, and I think that again.
3/4 throttle down the straight.
That's reasonable.
And shut it off.
Try and take the outside lane. If a super makes a big mistake like that, all right, go for it. But you see what happens. Easily, Sean Roberts gets back in front of the 33 car. Is going to have a run here out of turn 10. And if he can get the power down, he'll have a run anyways. That was a little bit scary for a moment. Jacob Elliott does have company from Brian McCann, by the way. That is what Jake was trying to avoid, and I understand certainly the urgency in mind, as Brian McCann now is all over the back end of the 07 car. So there was a reason as to why Jacob wanted to fight. I just think it needed to be carried out differently, as we're now within 5 laps to go for these two drivers, and Brian could get there. Into turn 1, heavy on the brakes, and we haven't really seen a whole lap of this late model around Montreal, so we'll stay on board here with Brian McCann as he gets it done, chasing the 07 car. The sun is setting there behind turn 3, making it more and more difficult to see into this corner, but thankfully the trees alongside the riverbank are helping. Turn 3 curving, rather usable. Turn 4, sure. Turn 5, kind of a flick of the wrist. But you've got to make sure not to overdrive 5, save the throttle too long as you get into turn 6 rather deeply. And look at this, we are now closing back in on Spencer Torrence, and this could be a problem again for Jacob Elliott. Spencer Torrence has been putting in some pretty solid lap times. That lap, though, was a detour from that, as Elliott and McCann were actually
Pacing him
a couple
behind
of
us,
tenths
okay.
faster than the number 10. Zach Millet, though, now turning 146s, so even Sean Roberts is now closing on the 315. I think Zach is holding something back. I don't know why. He took 4 tires. Unless he took less fuel, which is a possibility, he may have underfueled the car and is trying to throttle back. We'll watch this fight. Actually, let's just listen in. Let's take this opportunity to listen into the 315. Yep, he's saving. Well, there you go. I think again, that proves why I think Spencer Torrence needed to do something a little bit different there on the pit stop. Although Spencer is closing, he's only 12 seconds back with 4 laps to go. I don't think he's going to make up 3 seconds per lap, but he's certainly going to give it a shot as Kevin McCann fights here with Sean Roberts. Again, interclass fighting. I feel like this is slowing them both down, though. This is the problem. And this might be a little bit different. I think this is going to be reversed, where I think Kevin McCann has been far more consistent. Sean Roberts has used the Super's power to get back by him multiple times, but how do you tell a faster car maybe to slow down, right?
He should have ripped us my first 3 laps. Holy shit! You talk about garbage.
But you know what? As much as I go on
Taken me
and
off the
on
track.
about this dynamic, that is what is but making this series that much more interesting and compelling.
That was
Is
bad.
we have this car and class difference, and we're
Yeah,
gonna be
that was
talking about
probably
all 9 races.
Yeah, because I had to start from pit road.
How these two cars
So it was like
interact, how these two classes
they kept you there
interact,
for like
battles
15
between
seconds.
them. I mean, here comes Gilles Villeneuve again. Torrance just got in a little bit deep on the brakes. Now into turn 10, you see the 10 is kind of pulled back away. It's going to keep it nice and tidy down to the curbing here. And we'll drive back away from the 07 out of turn 11. It's a cycle.
Yeah, the pit
Torrance,
road
by the way,
thing, man,
12
that was.
seconds behind
I actually
Zach
kind of thought it
Millet,
would be okay.
As
You
Millet
know,
takes the 3 to go signal this time by from the flag stand.
I was secretly hoping it
Clutch
would
in
let me
probably
go right when
about
the
now
flag
for
came
turn
out.
1. Yep, before the start finish.
So like I could be out ahead of the late model stocks, like right off the bat. That would be
Meanwhile,
better than the last win penalty.
onto the front
That would've
stretch,
been amazing.
Kevin McCann and Sean Roberts. Sure enough, Sean Roberts has throttled back a little bit. And we have some takers on the pit lane. Leonardo Elijah and Eddie Rose into the pits. All while Spencer Torrance is closing in on Sean Roberts. And man, if Jacob Elliott wasn't already frustrated with the 10 car and this late model stock versus super late model fight, he's going to be even more frustrated when the 10 car catches the 66, I think, because when Torrance gets there, it's going to be an
Yeah,
awkward fight,
we both hate
I
him.
think.
I hate
Joe
hate him
Tucker
so
slow.
much.
Problems for the 13
My favorite
car.
league.
He gets back going.
LSR guys,
Eddie
Lone Star
Rose will
guys,
leave the pit lane now as
for like their trucks
Tucker
and stuff.
lights
They
up
never
the rears
did.
once more.
Actually, no, it wasn't that. It was the NTRL. LSR
Again,
had win
turns 6 and
penalties.
7. The
But,
07 closes
yeah,
in.
like Numb Thumbs, those guys don't have win penalties. That was pretty cool.
And Spencer Torrance blinks a little bit, but has plenty of time back into turns 8 and 9. Chasing the rear of the car through 8 and 9, but staying further ahead. And here we go, fight for second in super late models. Here comes Jacob Elliott.
might
This
actually
is going to
just-
get difficult. Brian McCann is closing. Sean
Kevin's
Roberts
right on us here, but I
has
think
just
we
been
can make
passed
it.
for second in class. Third on the racetrack. Jacob Elliott trying to go to the outside. McCann to the inside, contact. That is for second in late model stocks. McCann got back to his right rear. And what I've kind of glossed over is we don't know if these guys have to pit yet. It looks like they're good to go. I don't recall why Steve Singer is behind these guys, if there even is a reason. But he's 20 seconds back. He must have had a huge mistake at some point. 8 seconds back, rather. That said, 2 laps to go. Spencer Torrance has cleared the 66. I don't think he'll be making up 9 seconds in these last 2 laps, though, unless Zach Millet has a severe issue. Meanwhile, here's Kevin McCann at the number 33. He is clearly away to a race victory this evening. Is good on fuel, pitted 5 laps ago. Something had to have happened to Steve Singer while we were checking into the whole debacle between late model stock and super late model. So here he was just ahead of Truxell. That's where he passed Truxell. This is ahead of Beetle. This had to have happened a while back, so excuse me while I look for this. Wow.
Okay, so this last lap we should be good.
I don't know how he even ended up in this position.
Yeah, I agree. That's exactly what I think too, man.
Unfortunately for Steve Singer, looks like we're not going to find it this evening. As we go back up to our race leaders, Jacob Elliott, Kevin McCann, Brian McCann rather.
All right,
I'm going to confuse those two all season
I
long.
don't think I can get a 41, but let's give it hell. Why not? We got gas.
Here on Jacob Elliott,
Let's
this
send
is
it.
for second in class as Zach Millet exits the wall of champions. 1 lap to go in Canada for these drivers. Spencer Torrance 10 seconds back, and Millet has turned up the wick once again. He must be good on fuel as we take the white flag presented by Whiplash Simcams. Sean Roberts in trouble. Spins coming into the pit lane in turn 13. And Roberts will come into the pits, and I'm not really sure why he's coming into the pits unless it's for fuel. Which is a very solid possibility, but Spencer Torrance now second on the racetrack. Well, second in class. third on the racetrack overall. He's got Jacob Elliott just behind. Brian McCann now has fallen back. And there must have been trouble there, including Sean Roberts. Steve Singer's closed in a little bit, but everything is falling into place.
Ah, that sucks.
Again, something happened to Steve Singer at some point in this race to move him back, but nothing was going to get in the way of Zach Millett this evening. And Spencer Torrence, what do you know, actually gives the spot back to Jacob Elliott. Makes a mistake, it looks like, through 6 and 7, and gives that
I
position
haven't
up.
hit the chicane at speed in so long, I don't even remember. Yeah, I blew it. Probably be like a 42, 42.4,
Zach Millett down
42.5.
Casino Straight for the
What it
final
feels
time
like.
this evening, started from the pit lane. Behind the entire field and then some. Pitted for tires once, thought he was a bit short on fuel. Sure enough, he saved, he gave up time, but it was all in plan for
Oh,
him
we
to
got
go
it.
back
No,
to
we
victory
didn't.
lane in the Noble
Thanks, man.
Can-Am Series.
I almost got that 41-1,
Victory
damn
lane
it.
checkered flag. The 315 car in Montreal, and the 33 of Kevin McCann back to victory lane for Kevin.
Thanks, man.
Jacob Elliott out of the Wall of Champions will take second place
dude,
this
I
evening, matching a race
didn't
win
even
at
look at
Lion
those
Rock last
freaking,
time
at
out.
the
Spencer
mileage.
Torrence in his first
I felt
start
like I went
goes
way
second
longer in
class,
test sessions, but
and Brian McCann
yeah, I had to
will
pit early.
take over the
Yes?
overall top 5. Third
Oh, you
place
suck.
in late model stock cars.
I blew that like lap
as the
1.
rest of the field comes on through.
I got really close early on. I got a piece of 0x, but see ya.
See you, buddy.
No, I'm out of fuel.
Oh, shit.
Okay. And I didn't think about it.
Same.
An oddly clean but demanding race this evening at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Thanks for joining us at Pit Stop TV. It has been a treat. A little bit controversial
we are,
at a time or two, I'm sure. I might have differing opinions to these drivers. That's okay. Eddie Rose, though, will be our final car to finish up this
We're, like,
race
out
in
of
Montreal
gas.
in the 16th position. A clean race car, though. Very, very clean for Eddie Rose, and the 88 car comes across the line and finishes.
I don't think I'm going to make it back
Let's
to...
take a look at our overall race results.
yeah, I might need a push back to the line.
Zach Millett, of course, with the race win from pit lane. For that win penalty, bests Kevin McCann and everybody else by plenty of time. Jacob Elliott will follow Kevin McCann there in the late model stock class. Spencer Torrence, and a penalty for Johnny Rapp. He has just been
We're
dropped
out.
from the middle of the field, I think at the top 10. You saw it change there quickly in the unofficial results screen. Johnny Rapp has been dropped to 15th overall,
come on, fuel pick up.
last
Come on.
in class. And I don't know what for, I'd imagine for incidents. But Zach Millett wins in super late models. Kevin McCann wins in late model stocks. You see the rest there. Spencer Torrence, his first start in the series, goes 4th. Steve Singer, not sure what happened there still for the 6th car. He goes 6th. Sean Roberts 7th. Jason Duckworth 8th. Mark Thomas, Troy Radford complete the top 10 overall. Ahead of Mark Truxell, Leonardo Elijah, Aaron
Hey, he
Beal,
might.
Joe
You never
Tucker,
know.
Johnny Rapp, and Eddie Rose.
Oh, I might just barely make it.
Once again, Zach Millett proves himself to be a little bit like
Man, I don't know. Can it be any worse?
Well, it definitely worked against you, and for a little bit, we're coming in of the race, right? It looked like maybe Spencer had something for you. How aware were you of his pace and the delta between you two?
Man, I knew he was fast. It all comes down to how much tire you can save, and I mean, my first 3 laps, I'm glad I wasn't on camera very much because it was awful, and I pretty much killed my tires right off the bat. But I think it was his race to win, especially when he stretched it that extra lap for gas. I don't know how he did it, but we pretty much put ourselves in a major hole there right off the start, and had to conserve at least about 10 laps on that final stint.
Why don't you say that you don't know how he did it? I know why you say you don't know how he did it, but you did it in that last run. How much saving did it require? Because we noticed a couple of times you were putting the clutch in before the start-finish line for turn 1. How diligent did you have to be? How disciplined did you have to be?
Oh, it was awful. It was the hardest thing to do, especially with the other class cars. You know, they're already faster, you know, on like the infield and the tighter turns, and the only time you can really pass anybody is on under power, and you know when the car's off, it's hard to it's hard to stay in front of him. So we had to kind of let Kevin McCann by there. He had really good pace anyway, but when we let him by, it was a little easier. And it's just tough. It's tough saving fuel in these things because you just never know. You never trust the iRacing stats anyway. I've got race labs up, but I still don't. I hate to trust it.
So how much of a strategy point do you think this becomes? Saving fuel to go that extra lap to make it a one-stop race?
Man, I'm starting to think it's everything. It really is. I mean, pace is always pretty important, but I mean, you can be fast, but if you're out of gas, you're not going to go very far with it. So we're going to have to do some more practice with the strategy side of things.
Well, it'll certainly be difficult to save gas next week at Watkins Glen, that full throttle course, or so it seems. It's going to be fun to watch that take place. Zach, best of luck in race number 4, starting from, I'm sure, outside of the zip code, maybe the next state over, I don't know. But Zach, congrats on the race win again. We'll see you next time out.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Zach.
That was cool. I didn't know he was bringing me up. I was totally unprepared. Totally unprepared. Oh, let's see.
Good run, Zach.
Thanks, man. That was fun. That was stressful. Oh, man.
Yeah, there were some dangerous lappers. That Sean Roberts. Woo.
Was it bad?
Oh my gosh. He plowed into Brian McCann trying to pit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Even like Spencer, none of them could get the power down coming out of the corners. And, I mean, I was right on top of them. And then, of course,
Yep.
they blow by me. But it's tough.
Yeah, that's the stressful part about it, you know? You're so much faster than the supers, basically everywhere but a straightaway.
Yeah, and I mean, I was eating into that lead trying to get to Kevin, and I get stuck behind a lapper, and then there's 2 seconds out.
Man, I must have gave up 10, 15 seconds trying to nurse it home. It was awful.
Yeah, it was kind of rough.
Oh, yeah? Damn. Yeah, I've seen a lot of bad luck for him a lot of times. Actually, I was part of it one time. I was shit in the bed with a GT3 car, and
He was in my way a bunch of times.
I think he was in a P car, and I was trying to stay right at Road America, if I remember right, and he came through and just killed me.
My spotter was like, oh, there just went Brian. Sean took him out. Damn.
And I think it was the lap before that,
Yeah.
almost took you out.
Yeah. He was like, boy, he's sending it in like 12 cars deep. I was like, oh, if he goes there, I'm not going to fall.
I don't know what we have to cover here for replay side of things. There's qualifying.
Yeah,
I was pumped with that qualifying time. I'm really happy with that.
Then I had a guy jacking with me on the start. He slowed
If you look
way
over here, that's the start.
nowhere near the pack. When it
Man,
took
that was
off.
tough. You can see the other cars coming in the shot right here. That's pretty cool. So when they hit the line here, I was hoping I'd, get the go ahead and go. Yes, I do want to see a pic of your new race configuration. Hell yeah. It can't be any better than your old one. That was freaking perfect.
How do you like having to start in the back next race, Kevin?
More perfect is better. More perfect is better.
That'll be fun.
And this was
It's gonna be really hard to pass. That one. Oh, is that the next track?
Yeah.
thank God.
Oh, I like that track.
Our cars have, I don't know what the super late models are like, but there's no draft in our
Shit, I
cars.
don't have any sound. My bad. Shut this way down.
Getting a draft out on the street is like just go for it. Cars are so driven up. I think you guys are bumper than me.
Yeah, I appreciate you not doing it to me there, Kevin. I tried like hell to kind of get off a different line and not be in your way.
I appreciate you. You were perfect. There was one guy out there though, with about 5 to go, that I'm racing.
Oh, is it in there?
Behind me. He's closing in.
Hold on.
That guy was just he kept
passing me on the straights, you know, even though
Oh my God.
the lap times, you know, I was going quicker and
Terry, that's ridiculous.
it won too many times.
Oh,
I gave him
lights under the pedal. Oh, I'm doing that.
shoves, and I think he got picked and backed off.
Damn.
Third one was going to be easy on his wall. I mean,
One could argue you needed to be held up though.
I wasn't, you know, I had to make
Yeah,
a
that's
decision.
sick, Terry. That's ridiculous. Full motion, everything?
If
Jesus.
I backed off and ran
That's
his
awesome.
lap times, I think he was going to catch me within like one or two to go. So, you know, I had to go.
Let's see, where are we?
You got to complete this.
Whew.
You know, got lucky. Y'all only got hit twice. Or at once.
Yeah, and I had to stretch that. That was really bad. I was running like 46s and 47s. It was awful.
22nd. How big was it?
I don't know. I didn't even look. I was trying not to look because I know he got a pit road penalty, and that was the game changer, you know. I would have been screwed without that. It would have been his race.
Was it Torrance
Yeah.
that got the pit road penalty?
Yep. Said 6 mile an hour over or something.
Yeah, those bumps on the entry to pit were. That
That's
was a
true,
lot
yeah.
right there.
Exactly. That's a big deficit to come back from. You know, that's hell.
Zach, when I got around you there toward the end and I drifted that whole turn, man, that motherfucker back there
Hell,
knocked
yeah, you did. both parts of the chicane you drifted. I was like, when you came in, I saw your back tires lock up. I'm like, oh shit. But you hung on to it. That was sick.
What lap was that?
Let's see if I can find that. I'm gonna find it. Let's see. It was. Gotta find it. He was ahead of us here. Kevin was. Might be. Gotta find this. This was sick.
I think 19.
Yeah, 19. Yep.
Right after I got around you.
Watch this.
Kevin and Brian, you guys take time.
Yeah. This was a Tokyo drift. Insane. Whoa.
Man, I
Look
thought
at
I was the
this.
first in. I don't know what I did. I
That's
guess I
sick.
was
This is what I saw.
for a couple laps there. I was like 1 or 2 seconds off my fastest time, and I was sitting there thinking, oh wow, do you have a tire day? I have big tires, and then just let them cool down a little bit. And
Oh yeah.
by the end, I was running the fastest time I've
That
ever
is
ran.
Tokyo drift. That was sick.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sure you saw me take lefts both times.
Let's watch from his car.
I did.
Yeah. Oh, I guess it was Brian. It was fine. Yeah, took a left both times.
It's gonna be a lot of wheel in this one. Oh yeah.
I think the car
Doesn't get much better than that.
balance off.
When I was practicing, it felt like I
Good
got
stuff.
understeer, right?
That was awesome.
Yeah, and the right-handers. So then I went with just did the left strategy.
Well,
I
good
was
stuff.
doing lefts one stop and rights the next.
Yeah, right. I do that one time through there. My tires are just done. They're over. Let's
The left's
see.
pretty much all rights.
Let's see when Spencer came in to the pits.
It'll be interesting.
Here we
I
go.
just need to get away from these back markers. All right, gents, I'm hopping off. I'll catch you guys around.
Yeah, I'm going.
Have a good one, man.
Later.
Okay, here's the cone.
Are they doing interviews?
He's already slowed down. 49, 50,
Oh,
50.
this interview.
Pit road speed was 50, I think. Or wait, was it 45? Shit, I don't remember now. He's only going 49.
We're gonna get him there at the end, Brian. What happened?
Well, shit, now I don't remember. Let's see. This will be
Go
easy enough to
back and
find.
watch it. Sean, his last name,
Oops.
Oh, dang,
took
I
me
got
out.
you way.
No, he didn't get in my way. He took me out.
What lap?
Ooh,
Lap before last lap.
it is 50.
That's the one that,
That's what it was, I think, too, yeah.
that's
Let's
the one
see.
I was over to.
I was thinking maybe he already
We
knew he was
got
speeding and
around
he just
him
burped it,
and
but
was racing me and Jacob.
40,
And then
50, oh,
last
55.
little
left, right.
53. Yeah,
Was coming down that straightaway.
that's what it was. You're right.
Creamed me.
Jesus.
What lap was that?
Yeah, it's like he hit the clutch instead of the brake.
Brian, who ran you over?
Sean
Oh, the 66 car?
Roberts. Yeah.
Is that getting in that last chicane late in the race?
Late in the race.
Yeah,
Trying
I
to
figured
find this.
something happened. I saw a bunch of smoke.
I think it's prior to
I don't
this.
know. Looking from his point of view, it just looks like he just never hit the brake pedal until it was way too late.
Well, let's
He was
put
like,
Brian
oh man,
McCann
this is
here.
a good battle up ahead of me. I'm gonna watch it. Oh shit. That's what I was thinking. I was wondering if he was just looking at us and missed his braking point.
What lap was that, Brian?
Where were we racing? 29.
Go.
29.
End of lap 29.
Oh, that was, damn, that was right at the end. Shit.
Yeah, I got excited. I'm like, shit, maybe I'll get a third place out of this.
I don't know how it didn't spin me.
I didn't even see Sean. Where is he? Oh, here we go. Man, he's way up there though. Hold on. Okay, there we go.
More out.
Yeah.
Just went right through my shirt.
Ooh. Shit, he's pretty far back there. Enhance.
Alright, well, I am out, fellas.
We'll catch you later, man.
See you next week.
Oh, here we go. Oh, he's in the super late. I forgot about that. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was bad. Yeah, looks like he missed his braking point pretty good.
Andrew, what's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
Just sitting here roasting away.
Same.
I think we're doing a different kind of roasting.
That is true. Yours already sounds way better than mine.
My roasting is usually in gummy form, so.
I wish it was that kind of roasting.
Yeah, he just missed his brake point. That sucks. Yeah.
I was
Oof.
completely out of it there at the start of the race. Honestly, I kind of
Ooh.
got it off. I got lucky on it, but I got into it. We're okay now. Not nodding off.
Did you just fucking sleep deprived, or what's the deal?
The last 3 days I've gotten out of bed. And for me, it's stupid early because I'm 23.
That's true too. Yeah, at least Brian kind of survived there.
6.
Oops.
I'm supposed to wake up at 5.
It pretty much kills the battle for that, though, doesn't it?
Bro, I'm 40 and that's early for me.
Damn.
All right. Well, I woke up at 6 or 7 or whatever the last couple days for that to go and see Charlotte. And,
But shit, that's the it's a good night for us, man. I'm pumped. Thanks for hanging around, Terry. Appreciate it, man.
Damn.
Keeping me sane. Still can't believe we looked down and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna make another lap.
With the humidity.
Yeah, no fun.
Yeah, do it. Turn a 37 and ease my pain, will you?
It gets that hot up here, there wouldn't be any flag football.
Drive
I
a boat.
honestly
Yep.
can't believe they did it on this particular weekend. I'm
All right, there we
very
go.
confused.
Done. Click.
Because
Boom.
this is statistically the hottest weekend.
All right, man. Have a good night. Thanks again. And
And here we are.
we got another race tomorrow night,
literally across the
NTRL
weekend.
Cup Series.
A
So
total
tune in for
of
that.
8
See ya.
countries